So if you have a Victron Solar controller with Bluetooth and you can't get it to connect to your app, follow these simple steps and you might be able to get it to work like I did. So what happened is we bought this brand new trailer, but it didn't come with a battery. This is an Ember E-Series 22 ETS. It has a pretty good solar package. What is it? 400 watts of solar panels on the roof, the Victron Solar controller, and then you get to decide on what battery you want. So we ended up with a 410 amp hour RedODO battery, got it all hooked up, custom install done by myself. I was pretty excited to use the Victron app. I wanted to see how much power the solar panels were generating. Everything's hooked up the way it should be. Fire up the app, no solar controller visible. So I started doing some research on the internet, and for the most part, I couldn't really find a good answer to my problem. So I went to the manual. Now in the Victron manual, I couldn't really find a solution. But for my RedODO Voyager solar control manual, first thing it tells you is do not connect your solar panels unless you already have your battery connected. To connect the battery terminals to the charge controller before connecting the solar panels to the charge controller. Well, when we bought the trailer, this has the solar panels connected and no battery. So what do? You gotta reset your controller. But how do you do that? The only way to reset the solar controller is to disconnect all its connections. The Ember does not have a solar panel disconnect. So what you have to do is you have to disconnect your solar panels from your controller and disconnect the battery from the controller. This solar controller is in the pass-through and it's a bit challenging to get at the connections. I didn't feel like disconnecting all the wires to the solar controller. So here's an easy way to reset your solar controller. First of all, you want to get everything disconnected and then reconnected, but the order really does matter. So imagine this trailer sitting on the driveway and the sun goes down. The solar controller is still connected to your battery, but the solar panels are not outputting any power. And that's the way it's meant to work. So what we actually have to do is we have to disconnect the solar panels first, then disconnect the battery, reconnect the battery, and then reconnect the solar panels. So step one, grab a ladder, get up onto the roof and disconnect your solar panels. Some trailers have a solar panel disconnect, but the Embers don't come with it. That's a future upgrade that I'm gonna do. But for now, it's pretty easy just to get out there and disconnect them up at the connection. It's a little junction box. Okay, set up a ladder. Get up here on your roof. And here's where your solar panels are connected. And so you want to disconnect these two. As a precaution, I would throw a sleeping bag over both panels just to get that voltage down to 0. Disconnect this. That disconnects your solar panels from your solar controller. Next step would be to disconnect your battery, reconnect your battery, reconnect your solar panels, wait for that solar controller to start up, and it should show up in your app. Well, hopefully that worked for you. It sure worked for me. I can now use the app and see the solar controller and see how much power they're generating. Make sure you share it with somebody else that has that same issue with not being able to get their solar controller to work properly. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.